I'm going to be going over my RaceCapture track version 3 install. Well, I've already installed it, so we'll go over how I installed it, why I did, and then I'll give you an example of the data that I can get out of it on my 2013 Porsche 911 Carrera S. I currently run in SCCA A Street, so it is completely stock except for wheels and tires. I have Apex VRS 5s with RE71 RS tires, 19 inch. So yeah, I've been through a few systems and still play with them. For a long time I resisted SoloStorm just because it was $200 or $205 for just the app, right? And I didn't have an Android device, so going into that ecosystem was pretty expensive. I've done quite a few track days and things like that, so I was familiar with various capture systems. I've used Harry's lap timer for a long time with an OBD2 dongle and a GoPro, and did that synchronization, and while that works pretty well, the clunkiness of the GoPro synchronization and downloading of videos kind of turned me off. I didn't really want to use my phone because after like the iPhone 6 or something like that, it got really choppy on using your phone. So because that kind of dates me a little bit. But then I went to a couple other systems. I can't remember. I've tried Track Addict. And then I was just like, well, I'm gonna drop some coin. I'll go AIM, right? So I went to an AIM Solo 2 DL with a SmartyCam HD version 2.1, if I remember right. And that was very nice for track days. Very nice. Great data coming out of the car. At first I used the OBD2 port for data, and then I switched to a direct wire into the CAN bus, and it was just like, it was like the Matrix, right? You had all this data coming in, and you're kind of overloaded by it, right? The problem is that I'm mainly focused at this point on autocross, and it's not a great autocross system, right? You can do it, and I've got a video that I'll link showing how to do that in AIM, but as far as real-time data look at after a run, it's just not a great system. Going into paddock, or, going into grid, back into grid after a run, you kind of want to look at your data, and you're just like, well, I can look at my video, but I have to take the SD card out and all these kind of things. But for track data, when you have periods of time after a session, right? You have a 20-minute session, then your next 20-minute session is, possibly an hour from there. Your car's cooling down and all that kind of stuff. Then you can take your laptop out and sync the data and the video, and it's just like, just French kiss. I mean, just chef's kiss, right? It's just great. The video quality is, for the price of the system, the video quality is pretty not great. When your $200 or $300 GoPro can produce really, really quality video, and your $800-900 plus, depending on the system. SmartyCam does 1080p now, which is great, and it does 60 frames, which is great. But the system I had was like 720p, 30 frames per second, and it was just kind of like, meh. So anyway, so I finally sold that, and I made enough money that I was like, okay, I'll pick up SoloStorm and an Android tablet, right? So I picked up SoloStorm and an Android tablet, and I got a Galaxy Tab S9. Yeah. So I was just like, I'm going to get Big Dog at the time. I think it was last year. Was it last year? Last year. Big Dog at the time. And so I got that, and it's been really good. I use a OBD Link MX or the MX Plus, and the data came in. It was relatively fast. The GoPro synchronization for me, and I know that other people struggle with this for SoloStorm, but for me, it worked really great. It fired almost every time, and and got my sessions, especially if I marked starting stage and everything like that. If you kind of let it do its thing, it'll miss the first time, but it'll get the second time kind of thing. Wanted some more. So this Christmas, I wanted some more data on the off season. I wanted a better understanding of my braking. I think that's where a lot of my time can be made up, braking and early on the throttle, and looking at the data on the overlap of those two things and how much time I'm coasting and things like that, because I got a bad habit of coasting. I wanted a little bit more powerful system, so the wife got me the RaceCapture Track Mark III or whatever. Yeah, Mark III. And at first I thought that I could get the OBD2. I thought that I could get the CAN bus through the OBD2 port, because there is CAN bus pins on the OBD2 port on the 991.1. But it is like encrypted or something like that through the gateway from the CAN bus portion of the CAN bus gateway. So anyway, that didn't work. So I had to order the raw CAN bus pigtail. Went back into the wires that I had previously tapped before, so that was no big deal. And now I can use the preset that somebody, I think it was Angry Croc Racing, created for the RaceCapture. So they've got RPM, throttle, overall brake percent, and then they've got various wheel brake, and then you've got what else is in there? I think there's speed or something like that, but I use the RPMs, throttle, and brake. And one of the problems with the brake is that you've got noise on that line. For whatever reason, you've got noise on that line. It kind of fluctuates like 0 to 7 or something like that. So I need to do some little bit digging on how to filter that out in SoloStorm. I know there's a Lua script, LUA script that you can put into RaceCapture software, but I don't use that for autocross. I only use that for testing and diagnostics and stuff like that for the system and firmware updates. So I will show you where I installed it and how I routed some wires, and then give you a demo of the data that you can get out of the system. So we'll go into the car here. Hopefully this doesn't mess up my video. So down here you've got your OBD2 panel here. It's a fuse box plus OBD2 panel, and you can pull that off and there's your things. But you can see that I've got add a fuse there for the RaceCapture, and I'm not going to do it because it's kind of a pain to get it back on. Of course this is kind of a pain to get back on too, but the in here under this panel here, which is covering this, there are lines that are CAN bus lines. So I've got 2 posi taps on there. I routed the cable under the dash and then into, I took this panel off. Let's see if I can grab that better. This panel off, and you can snake the wire down this channel, and then you can see it kind of poking through there a little bit, and then it goes into the RaceCapture device. I've got 2 command strips holding this in, so it's pretty solid. I don't think it's going to go anywhere. And they're Velcro command strips, so I can take it out if I need to, switch to another car or something like that. But that provides CAN bus data on that line with power, so it's only powered when the car is on. So there's no OBD2 drag or anything like that for the battery. And then this is the GPS line here, and that sneaks down, and I've got it going through a hole in the glove box there, and it goes down, and then I've got it swung into I've got it snaked under the seat, And then you can kind of see it poking there. I need to do a better job of doing that. And then it goes into the parcel shelf. So underneath that piece of carpet sits the GPS puck. Now, from what I can tell, it works really great. And I think the GPS signal is good. Now, I have not actually put it in practice as far as an actual event. So we'll see. But hopefully that works, because then I can just keep it in the car and it's not this, obvious thing that's in the car and it wants to get stolen. Not that anybody would think about that as a potential problem. But anyway, so that's how it's physically installed. So I'll switch to my tablet and then we will go into how the software works. So this is RaceCapture. Loaded it up. No track detected, obviously. So this is the signals that are coming out of the RaceCapture box, giving me a battery, longitude, latitude, how many GPS satellites are connected, 23. So pretty good. You'll notice RPM is 0 there. There's your brake: left front, right left rear, and then right rear. TPS, throttle position. It's got steering. That does not work. There's your brake. There's that overall, 100, 0 to 100 brake. But you can see that there's noise on it. So I need to work on that to see if there's some other CAN bus signal that I can tap into, or I need to filter it out so it's just a less noisy thing. There's been some talk on the RaceCapture Facebook where it talks about taking actually the front brakes or something like that, and just using one of the front brakes, because those are 0 obviously. So there's some kind of little bugs to work out on some of the data, but which is one of the advantages of RaceCapture, is that there's a community around it and people help each other out and things like that. But that's one of the disadvantages, is that if your car is not supported very well, as there's not a preset or anything like that, you have to do quite a bit of work to get it working. With an AIM system, you're paying obviously a premium, but part of that premium is that as long as your car is supported, they tell you exactly what channels it is, and it is dead accurate, right? So, it kind of goes, some of that is an advantage, some of that is disadvantage. So you can see when I hit my TPS, you see the TPS going up and down, right? So that's there. Here's the brakes. You can see them going up, right? There's 50, 55, 60, 67, right? So that brake is at 100. These are at 68. So, there's kind of some figuring out some of that stuff. And then RPM is 0 because I don't have the car started. So you can, in RaceCapture, you can have a lap timer and things like that. You can have this really customized dashboard, which is cool. If you're into that, people have taken Raspberry Pi systems and screens and make their own race car dashboards and stuff like that. I'm not super into that at the moment. This tells you, this is another graph system that you can use where you can set up, this is set up for RPM and TPS or something like that. So yeah, that's RaceCapture. We're not going to use that because we're talking about SoloStorm. So we'll go back to SoloStorm. So if we pop open SoloStorm here, SoloStorm has native support for RaceCapture. You can see that through, I've got, yep, there we go. GPS logger source is RaceCapture Bluetooth logger. So that's good. The vehicle telemetry, you don't actually insert that. You use the RaceCapture in the first one. Then the logger and math channel. So I've got RPM is RaceCapture RPM, RaceCapture is TPS, steering angle, RaceCapture steering. I should actually take that out because it doesn't work. And then brake pressure, I've got it on the brake pressure that single channel. And then there's a whole bunch of other things you can have. The problem is I don't have them yet. So, but I know they exist, right? So in finding those, those channels on the CAN bus is a challenge. There are companies out there that will help you do that. They've worked with Autosport Labs, who's the company that makes RaceCapture. I don't know what they charge. Haven't really got into it with them yet. I'm thinking about doing it just because, one, I want the data myself, and two, I could consider giving out the preset after it's created as a gift to the community. We'll see. I'm not decided on any of that kind of stuff. So we'll start the logger here real quick, just to give you an idea of the throttle, showing the throttle and the brake pressure. So it should connect to RaceCapture here for a second. And you don't want to have two applications going after the RaceCapture at the same time. So make sure to close the RaceCapture app when you have SoloStorm running. And it's thinking about connecting to RaceCapture. Hopefully it gets it.
Ready.
Okay, connected to RaceCapture. You can see the brake pressure fluctuating there. There's your throttle, and it's working too. So that all works, right? So you got, for what I need at this point in the first part of the season, it's got throttle, brake pressure. I want to see the overlap of my data. I think I've got some. I think I've got a test that I did. Maybe I didn't. No. I thought I had some logs of, don't have one. So, and then the IMU, it's kind of odd because it doesn't show it like when you have like a Racebox Mini, which is another device that I've used in the past, it'll show like the real-time IMU data. On the RaceCapture, it doesn't show that, but you do get the data. So I don't know if that's a quirk of how the RaceCapture works or whatever, but so there you go. That's how I configure my RaceCapture for my 991.1. I will hopefully get more data in the future, and then we can work on that. But as far as an analysis is concerned, right? If maybe I can just staged. That's not going to let me start it, right? So if you have any questions, comments, just leave them down in the comments below. I'll answer them, and yeah, we'll see what the season brings. Thanks for watching. We'll talk to you later. Bye.